Welcome to the Hot Young Designers Club podcast.
I'm Rebecca Plum, your big sister.
And I'm Sean Surha, your GBF.
We're not that hot or that young,
but we believe it's a state of mind that helps us build adaptable and profitable businesses.
We rely on the support of our design besties to get through each day.
So let's explore the emotional, practical, and humorous sides of being interior designers.
Welcome to the club. Hey, Sean.
What's up, Rebecca?
I'm centering myself to shift my energy. Yes.
What are we shifting to? Let's do it together.
We are shifting to, it's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We have the whole day ahead of us.
Yes.
To do what we need. We have all the time in the world.
We're the masters of time.
We are the masters of time.
Mm-hmm,
our time is our own. We make our choices.
Yes. I claim this energy.
Yes.
I claim this energy.
Welcome to our spiritual podcast, JK.
This is, honestly, we've been doing a lot of mindset. And I'm like, I hope that doesn't sound like oh my God, we've been doing a lot of mindset. It's really like, we have been, I don't know, we're on it. We're on one when it comes to energy and time and mindset.
Not to be annoying about it.
Like a vegan.
Exactly.
Sorry, vegans. It is the running joke, vegan. I'm sorry. No, it's not. No, I know other vegan. You know what? As soon as I was like, Lauren's going to think that was, no, it's not. But it's like, it is one of those things. It's also like, if you have a food allergy, like Cecily. Cecily's going to be that when it comes to like.
Oh, is there salmon in this?
Is there salmon? I can't have any salmon.
You're like, girl, it's mac and cheese. You're fine.
Like, yeah. But you know, anyway, yeah, the cross-contamination of it all. But yeah, now we're like bad energy, like we're anti-bad energy or anti-scarcity, anti-small thinking. We're not.
I'm like trying to be anti-victim mentality. And that's this week's thing. With my time, like I victimize myself with time. I'm hearing that more and more. And this is not about like people that are actually victims of actual crimes and pain and real things. I'm talking about the things in our days as business owners that I'm just like constantly feeling put upon. And some of it is just a choice of like, again, mindset and how you look at it. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But hotties, we're here to talk about it for those that are on a journey like that.
If you're trying to change your I think it's like a status quo almost. Like that seems to be like we're all trying to shift something that we've sat with for a while, or like in our Marco Polo group. And
I'm doing a lot of Enneagram chat. Like we've been doing it. I've been doing it from like my Charleston group, and it's really like a perspective. Like there's no good or bad Enneagram, whatever number. It's just like what your strengths are and like what you can kind of embrace and put more energy behind, and what your challenges are naturally and how you can accommodate those. So like I was in a group with Angie Wisdom the other day, and I asked like, so can I give myself, like as a 7, I'm an enthusiast. I'm always looking for the next fun thing. And it's like a constant source of distraction for me, which means like things don't get done because it's a little ADHD-ish, but shiny object. Like, oh, maybe I'll redesign my logo today. Like, just stupid stuff like that will pop in my head. So,
and you're like, girl, like,
right. And so, like, recognizing it, obviously, and I do. But I asked her, I'm like, can I give myself like little treats? Like, okay, you can design a new note card or tote bag or whatever if you do your proposal you've been promising you're going to do, or make the doctor's appointment you need to just freaking make.
Like reward yourself after.
And she said yes.
What?
Like that's what, like that will keep me excited and motivated. And I do need those kinds of little side quests to keep me kind of excited. So
your side quest was some hat and tote bag research.
Oh, my side quest was some merch. I actually have it here today. I've not gotten my hats
yet. You don't say. Like,
well, I was using them.
Here's our unboxing. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I got some new note cards from Moo that are I did the fronts
Oh, like a
in the
little
different
kind of
colors.
pastels.
So that's the writing side, and then
Yeah.
I did like a little tonal stripe for the back.
I like it. Wait, are they kind of like blended stripes? Like they're not like a hard line, or they kind of soft
They are
line?
a little bit wavy. They're a
I
little
kind of
bit
like that.
giving a House of
Soften
Hackney a painter stripe.
a little bit. I'm getting
They're
like
imperfect.
I'm getting like imperfect, but also like, oh, there's something there. Like it's not just a solid color, there's a layer to it. Like
Yeah, and
that's
it's
the
really,
vibe.
like, subtle, which I like, it's almost not
Yeah.
there, and I did update my logo. That was a side quest maybe last month.
Because
I
before it
didn't
was the SP together in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's still like, the vine is an S, you can't really see. I just changed the stack because I wasn't having, like, a good full version for something that had my tagline and icon, and I don't know. I just wanted a formal version that I don't use this very often, but anyway, that, and then I've shared this on Instagram, but Swell House was one of the attendees at Charleston, and she had the cutest bag as we were at the spa, like, about to go to the airport, and she had this such a cute tote, and she's like, "Oh my it's my merch." And so I copied it,
So
kind of,
cute.
and, like, it has a zipper. It's kind of a cheap tote, but I love the
Like
size
you're
of
not gonna
it.
put like 45 pounds of stuff in there and think it won't tear kind of tote. But
Well,
I mean,
right. Yes, it might.
you could do that. I love having the tagline on it.
And then I had this cheapo felt insert that I got from on Amazon years ago that, like, fits perfectly in the bottom,
Oh,
so I can
I
still put
like
my
that.
laptop in there.
And it's like protected,
It's
so
kind of
that
and it,
helps.
like, gives it the box bottom some shape, to stand up. So, there
You
you
just
go.
called me a box
I
bottom?
did.
No, I'm
Box
just kidding.
bottom girls make the world go round.
They do.
And I ordered hats, but yeah, they come next week.
They're like you're going for kind of like a faded or relaxed hat. Is that the vibe? I forget the color you showed me in the
I
text
actually
message.
did it
Like,
in a dark burgundy with an aqua embroidery.
I love that you're doing color contrast and like getting vibrancy, but also having color adventure in the stuff you carry so people can see that these are like the like non-standard color, non-trend, almost like slightly off the major trend is kind of where I see
Well, you don't have
that
a lot of
sitting. Like,
options with hats is what I've unless you're doing, like, fully custom. So it's
which you're
like,
not opposed to.
well, I'm not selling, like, no one's buying these, so they are, yeah, 1 of 4, but, no, there aren't a lot of colors, and there's a really cute pink that I almost did, but I didn't because it's not my color. Then I wanted also it to be in my palette of my skin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Yes, because what's the point of looking at all the color analysis if you don't do it? Like, I want to get this embroidered, like, or maybe I'll cross stitch or something with it myself. This is just like a little cap. It's like a brimless cap anyway. But it's canvas, which means it would really tolerate having something done to it because it's like a heavier weight.
Just take it to a local embroidery shop.
That's what I'm
There's so many of
thinking.
them. Yeah.
Like, how cute would that be if it had the
Really
little
cute.
Renstead
Little
flag,
flag,
that
so
little
cute.
like W flag? Like, hang on.
I do think, like, if you could on the back, not like a, Disneyland ears chain stitch, but maybe, like, I do want I don't know, this I'm sure I'm not getting business from this, but I do want, like, if I'm rocking my hat at a swim meet, for someone to know what it is. It's
So
also
what would
why I
it say on the
added in
back? Your name or what? Like you're saying on
well,
mine,
mine
like
says
Mickey
studio
ears.
bum, but well,
Yeah,
like, what do you put rents and interiors? I think it has to have the word interiors for anyone to question what it is
I would
as a
put that on the back.
yeah,
How
if you could
cute
get
on
it
the
small
little
enough.
like I'm not going to take this off, then I'll have to take my headset off. But there's like a tie strap on the back. It's not like the nylon one. It's made
Oh,
out of
like
the
split.
canvas. So
Cute.
I could have the tie the little like strap on the back embroidered on that part, Renstead Interiors. And then
because I think people would read it and be like, what's that? And then like, oh, I'm looking for an interior designer.
I think, hold on, adding to this for us, I think there's a beanie in here because we're coming out of cold season, but like the colder weather seasons.
I would definitely do a beanie.
The problem for me again is color, finding the beanies like I want, and then probably needing to take it somewhere to have like 2 of them custom
beanies
embroidered.
would be easier to find though. Like you could just buy a J. Crew one, couple of them, because you're only buying a couple anyway. But you can't really buy like, maybe I could have bought a plain hat. Maybe it would have been cheaper. I don't know.
Here's what I'm hearing. Plain hat, fade it in the sun for a while, let it get kind of vintagey looking.
Mm-hmm. Put some sun in on it.
Yeah. And then take it for custom embroidery. I'm sure I could do it.
Did you see that? This just reminded me. There was that girl on TikTok a couple years ago that was doing some experiment with sweatshirts, I think, for 365 days. It was like, she was a fashion designer, I think. And she got all these black sweatshirts and put them in a treehouse. I don't know why it was in a treehouse, but hung them. And it was like this experiment of like tree dyeing, I kind of think was what she was considering it. So like whatever landed or wind, rain, snow, leaves, like created, it turned into this like really natural tie-dye, bleach dye situation. It's interesting. So after a year, like they're like kind of this weird brown color with each one was a totally different texture.
Okay, that's a dedication to a year-long, like not, like I'm not going to touch this, I'm going to leave them, I'm going to wait to see what happens, and then I'm going to sell them. Okay, maybe I'm just behind on this. This just came to my full awareness. I knew that rug manufacturers and rug sellers did this, but I did not realize that a lot of like clothing sellers, like resell, quote, vintage or whatever, are literally just putting all their stuff in the sun and putting them like on their roof. And I knew that in Morocco, like I saw new rugs getting put out into the sun because and
it
yeah, they
softens
say
them too, and it like cleans them.
Yeah, it helps get the odors down, but it softens them. And then there's people who really want the bleached out fadedness of it all, which that's a whole market for them now, is aging rugs to sell, even though they're new rugs, they've been aged. And then I didn't realize,
shave them too.
Yes, to make them look more worn. But then on top of this is that the vintage clothing of it all. And I kept thinking that as I'm like at flea markets, I'm like, this is just so much old, faded looking things that aren't that old and have not been in the sun that long.
This says like, Old Navy on it.
God, like, yes. And so now I'm realizing, oh, they're doing a lot to make these look that old, because I have jackets and clothing that, yes, they're cared for in my closet, but I have like cardigans and wool knits and things that I've had like 17 years. Like I've got a cable knit sweater that still looks really nice, but one day it's going to need those little like leather arm patches, like a professor arm patch. Like it's going to wear in certain places eventually, but it doesn't look anywhere near as old.
We don't want to put wool outside.
No, but I can't decide if that frustrates me or not about clothing, like that they're just like completely, it's a fake market. But and they advertise it as like it's all legit. Yeah, I guess maybe because I knew it was happening with rugs, but I also don't buy vintage clothing that often, so it's not like I've been taken advantage of by buying it. I'm just I think does everybody know that?
Question is it new and they're calling it vintage because they aged it? They like forced aged it?
Yes.
Or is it vintage and they wanted it to look even cooler and then they're distressing it more?
Yeah.
So if they're misidentifying what it is and calling it old when it's new, like that's a scam.
Like, can we really call it vintage when it's just been likely owned by only one other person for like 3 years from Zara? Like,
well, that's what I mean. If it's not old, then it's not vintage. I mean, now what is vintage? Is 20 years or more?
Yeah.
And antique is 50?
No, 100, I thought.
Then what is
And
20
I think
to
a true
100?
antique is over 100. Like that would be the like book definition of an antique is over 100. That's the kind of
Okay,
what.
so vintage is 20 to 99 and
Yeah.
antique is 100. And then, yeah, it has to actually be following those categories, what they're advertising.
Yes.
But I think that's actually a good idea.
It's smart. I think it's just my initial surprise of like all of this you're doing. And then my TikTok algorithm started showing me people who I'm like, oh, this is a lot of people doing this. Like it's a ton of
It's a
vintage
business.
sellers. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. When Cecily was a baby, I remember one of the hacks when they like got gross food on their little white onesies or whatever and stained it, you just put it outside in the sun and the sun fixes it. Like it goes away. Like bleaches it out and then it's like a stain remover. Well, it's a stain remover.
Mm-hmm. You could do that with down and wool. Like if you have like a down pillow that you're like, God, this is not getting, like the smell is not coming out and I've washed it or whatever, it's probably because it needs heat and UV radiation to like zap all of that and just like.
It's such a man thing.
What do you mean?
It's always the man's pillow that does that. I don't know what it is. Maybe because you guys have short hair that's not like absorbing it.
Yeah. Is any of it
Because
biological?
women are sweating too, but I don't know.
I know. Yeah. Like, I don't know if there's
definitely
like
there's night sweats happening over here.
Oh, yeah. It depends on how warm you sleep. But that or even like if you have like a down wrapped cushion, that's the thing to do is like if it's just still not clearing, take the cover off of it, keep it still in if it has a wrap on it, like that's not the cushion cover, and then put it in the sun and just flip it, like leave it for a while. Like it needs to be in the full sun for a while. And I think people get freaked out. It's like, my stuff in the sun? Like, girl, I know you're walking outside without your sunscreen on some days. So like your pillow can sit in the sun for a few hours. It's fine.
I think it's not the sun. It's like dirt and bugs and stuff.
People are worried about dirt and bugs?
Yeah. On their pillow. Although like, there's that in their house too. But
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, girl, there's mites in your pillow for sure.
Which
like,
would probably get killed by that. So
exactly. Yeah. And then the oils also
pick your poison.
The bacteria in any oils left behind on it also get broken down by that UV rays. So you're killing that microbiome that's living in there.
I should try that with Terry's pillows.
That's where the smell comes from.
Well, also, don't smell, but maybe they do.
It's always just that, like, this was somebody's kind of, like, you know, pillows get sticky. That's life. Like, you gotta wash them. You gotta clean them off. They get oil. They get sweat. They get hair. People need to wash their pillows. I don't know. I feel like the average lifespan of a pillow, if it were up to me, I would be replacing, like, a sleep pillow every 6 months. Because I don't use down. I use it's like a foam and it has like that cup shape because I'm a side sleeper. So it helps like cup my neck on each side so I don't roll the wrong direction, and it keeps my shoulder, like keeps my neck aligned. Like has that dimple in the middle. I don't know how to describe it.
It sounds uncomfortable, but I know some people love them. It's a foam. It's memory foam.
Kind of, but it's cool. It's latex foam. That's the word I was looking for. Latex foam. Thank you. We were almost there.
To me, and this is gross, but like I need a pillow to, what's the word? Wear. Like not patina in a gross way, but like it needs to, it's like breaking in a pair of jeans on your body. Like you just have to use it and wear it and then it's perfect. And once it's perfect, I can't replace it.
Until it's like had like
you can't just
depletion.
Buy it. Like you can't just buy a replacement once it's.
No. And when I do have feather or down just as like a supplementary kind of pillow, you're right that they're only their best when they are just like perfect for pillow fighting, if that makes sense. Like kind of like can get a good swing because the pillow, the feathers squished to one side when you go to whap it. Like that's
and
kind of the right texture.
And I have 3 pillows that I need, but they're all different densities. But a couple years ago, I bought Terry a sleep crown. We ever talked about this? Do you know what those are?
I don't think so.
There's pillows that are like a toddler-sized pillow, but they're shaped like a sleep mask. And they I've never been a pillow over my head sleeper. Terry always has been. So I bought this for him and then he wasn't really using it, so I stole it. But it's the perfect size for just having that, like, I guess if you had a stuffed animal, like how you used to sleep with that. Like, you can, like, snuggle with it, I can put it over my face, and it does, like, perfectly like, when he's up before me, like, it's a perfect noise canceling, light canceling, but it has, like, the cut so it's your mouth and nose are still free.
Oh, so you can keep breathing?
It's, like, shaped like a bean or something, I don't know.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like
Yes.
this light density. I travel with it. I took it to Ohio with me and left it there and made them send it back to me because it's just perfect.
Like you've already
And
worn it
it's
in?
super expensive. And like I think they're easier to get now, but for a while it was like they would release a bunch and then they would sell out in seconds.
What's inside of it? Just down?
I don't think it's down. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like a weighted foam, I guess. It feels squishy like down, but I don't think it's feathers. But it has
Honestly,
weight to it.
I think I need this.
It's awesome. It's like a supplementary pill. It's not your like mainstay
No,
sleeper.
no, but I do like to cover my face. Okay, the difference for me, I guess, is that like a regular pillow also does this for me because I have a CPAP machine. So
Oh yeah,
I
you
am
have.
breathing, but honestly,
But I
for
put it in
travel,
my suitcase. They have a travel size too, but I like that it's big enough that it flops over your whole head versus like an eye mask always falls off
yes. Yeah.
or it's tight on my eyes in a way I don't like. So
You just want like the natural weight of it to sit and not be like strapped down or yanked on. Like a sleep mask kind of pulls on you a little bit. Yeah.
and what I need is to find one in like a contrast color, a pillowcase for it. They sell them. And get one in a contrast color that I won't forget when I travel because it's white right now. And if I ever
Yeah.
travel with a pillow, I try to bring like a wild pillowcase, put a wild pillowcase on it so that it's noticeable when you pack, but
Not just like a white or neutral cover that disappears.
that you forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing that this might be a great opportunity to take some remnant yardage and get a pillowcase made.
But it has to be something you want on your face,
Okay, so it's the bag
not
that it's carried
boucle.
in.
Yeah.
Like a little tote with a
I
bright
think if I
little
just get
lace, like
like
a little
really,
tie.
I think if I get really cute sheeting and have that
Order
made.
extra pillowcases out of the
Mhm.
sheeting, just a standard pillowcase, and have them made because you could take those two. That way, you can always swap. One is on the sleep crown and one is getting washed, and then you just
You need to
need the
wash
dupe
it a lot.
pillowcases. Yeah.
So, anyway, what else in the design world is happening?
We were kind of talking about this, but I've been slowing down on my influence from Pinterest and everything else. And I was saying it in a Marco Polo group of like, I do think that this has like been a continual message, probably from a lot of other designers too. But this one I'm gonna have to keep kind of secret. I haven't said we were gonna talk about this, but Rebecca knows who I'm talking about. That someone I know got hired at a very big firm
I wish we could tell this story.
that is globally known and very renowned, and they don't pull any inspiration from anything with it. I want to say it was like at least the last like 20 to 30 years was kind of their guiding principle of like we don't look at anything for research and inspiration that has been published in like the last 20 to 30 years. Like it's only old books or very old editions of magazines, like nothing current, nothing from AD, nothing like it's just like we don't want to see what other designers around us are doing right now. We don't want to hear what they're doing. We don't want to be influenced by it. We don't think it's going to give us the work that we want to produce that feels like their work could be
And it's
something you
very
see. Like,
high level work. Like, this is not even just
and
like regular celebrities. It's like,
this is like world class, like
Lots of NDA. Like they sign an NDA for every project, probably.
Oh my God. And you know that this is the type of work that you would want people, like they want to create work that in another 30 years will still be able to be referenced as world-class level work. And they, like, part of that is not looking at other people and what they're doing right now, because you don't know if the work out right now is going to stand that test. But when you look at, I think their goal is like, if we look at stuff from 30 years ago now and we still feel good about it, there's a good likelihood that in another 30 years or so, it's still going to hold.
But I would say their work is more like art. And
yes,
every home is some sort of architectural
they're
import. Like has
significant.
yes, significant.
I would say that's true. I
Whether
would say that's very
historical
true.
or new, but like it's not. It's like rich, rich, rich.
But what's the lesson you would take from hearing that they don't do that? Like, what would you think Studio Plum would do, or what do you do already?
I mean, I have you know this. I have a collection of 80s that are all pre 90.
Yeah.
92. And I remember when you came, like one of your first visits, I'm like, okay, which room would you live in? And they're pretty rough, and it's interesting because they're like photographed so differently. The styling is insane. Like it's so different. Like the art of styling has dramatically changed in editorials. But there are things I do like looking at those because you can pick up just different treatments or pattern mixes. It's not necessarily, there's nothing you're ripping out as is for the most part. Very few.
Yeah, where you're just saying, like, I want exactly everything they did
that
here.
That was the, like, little challenge we had. Is there anything in here that you would pick? And if you had to pick one, what would it be? But, like, Iris Apfel was in one, and she was, like, 50, and it's her apartment. But it looks exactly the same as, like, the last pictures you may have seen of hers. So some stuff does feel timeless.
There's a longevity to some of it.
So I do think finding references that look at first glance super obscure, like, oh, this is terrible, or look at those appliances. But then if you look closely, you can start seeing some finish details or carpentry that isn't being done now. So I definitely think that, and then just the idea of a different approach to what probably a lot of us do for research, and to really, like, I was thinking about this actually recently. I think I want to do an Instagram, you guys can steal this idea, of after photos from projects and then what they were inspired by, because I'm starting to, like, remember some references, like really obvious ones, like that my Zalige bathroom that went viral last week. The sink is actually, like, very heavily influenced from a sink that I had in my riad in Marrakesh. Different, but like it is like a Marrakesh sink that they have a lot there. So, but then also, like, the new color palette of one of my projects is inspired by those pictures of one of Jupiter's moons that was going around a few months ago.
Yes.
And
it was like a color enhanced.
I don't think it was enhanced, but it was, I think, new photography. It's crazy. The colors are insane, like so pretty. But yeah, so, like, I'm trying to be more influenced by random things like that and bringing that to the clients, and because they want to hear those stories too. But then I was remember on Trading Spaces, Genevieve was always, like, my favorite. And she always had some random thing that influenced a room. Like, she'd be like, this room, okay, here's my thing. And it's an artichoke. And, like, but they were cool things kind of compared to, like, the chicken feather ones or whatever.
I know. Oh my God. Hildy. Was it Hildy who did that one?
Yeah. So hers would always be more inspired by things of nature, from nature, and maybe still relevant. But
Hildy always got a lot of hate. Like those, a lot of her rooms did not feel safe.
Livable.
For like, yeah, like that felt like, oh, they're going to have to rip all this out. And I always feel like she was, I don't, like, trying to do something kind of avant-garde and fun. And she always had, you could tell that like when I look back now,
it was clickbait? Like, do you think it was like original clickbait?
maybe like let's get people
Rage
to
bait?
watch. Yeah, because she was very, wasn't she from like New York? Or maybe I'm making that up. No.
I don't remember at all.
I can't remember. But I just felt like I'm like going back as like a child. Like I'm like a teenager probably watching her do this and being like, I see there's an idea, but no one can live in it. And then you start
Like,
to think
that's a
like, oh,
cat box. Like,
yeah,
no.
like you start to think that maybe it was like those like mini exhibition white room type of ways is the way that she treated it. But a lot of the other designers were like, well, no, I need you to want to live in here when you're done. Like I understand we're working on a shoestring budget, but most of the other designers, including like Vern Yip and Genevieve, would always make sure it felt like you could live in here, you could sit in here.
Well, those are the ones you still hear about, though.
Right.
So I don't know what Hildy's
Yeah, I have
background
no
was. Was
idea
she
what.
just like made for TV or?
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
know. I
happened
just don't know.
to Hildy Santo Tomas? That was her name.
Do you just
Whatever happened
remember
to her?
that or you just looked it up?
That I had to Google it because I was like,
Oh.
Hildy what? And I was thinking it was the Y, Hildi, Santo Tomas. Apparently in 2018 there was a reboot and she was in that. And in 2018, her wiki may probably need some updating here. In 2018, she was on the school board for the Savannah College of Art and Design. Honestly, that's not, I don't know. And Christopher Lowell. Is Christopher Lowell around anymore?
Is he still with us?
Is that weird to ask?
I'm sure it's like one of the first Google results that comes up.
Christopher Lowell. He's 70. I would have thought he would have been older.
He was probably like 40 when he did
That's what I was thinking.
show.
Yeah, he's probably like late 30s, early 40s when I was watching. So that kind of lines up because now I'm 41. So.
But he had he was bald with a beard, so it's just hard to tell.
Okay, so what we're experiencing right now is like someone who is in or around your daughter's age watching what we're doing, say, on Instagram, and they're going to be shocked one day when they Google, oh my God, I used to follow this local hometown designer, Sean Sarah, or whatever. I wonder what happened to him. Oh my God, he's 70? Like,
I thought he'd be 85.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
No, they absolutely welcome to middle age. They absolutely think that about us.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of sirs I hear on a weekly basis now is frightening. Like, I don't mind it, but there has definitely been a shift to being, thank you, sir. Hi, sir. Like, excuse me, sir. I don't get sirred very often, like previously. Not enough that I would recognize it as being like, oh, this is the default way to talk to me now. Like,
I command respect.
But I don't. Like, I'm still so unserious half the time. Like,
but I think this is how every middle-aged person ever has always felt. Like, that's what I think, like, every time I hit a new milestone of like,
yeah,
oh, this is why my parents always said they don't feel old or they still feel like they're 20. Like, because you're still the same person. Like, I don't actually feel like I'm still 20, but I am still the same person in here. And I'm not completely uncool. I'm partially uncool, though.
Okay, but wouldn't you say, I agree with this, and you and I feel this way, and wouldn't you also agree that, like, maybe predominantly that there are a lot of uncool people past middle age who, like, we don't know what, like, from an outsider's perspective, you're like, what are they doing? Like, I don't know anything about them. I don't know what they're doing, and media bias.
Is that just because they're not on social media?
That potentially, and also media bias is we don't want to see that because you're not a buying group anymore. So they show less and less. And so like when you start finding people who have created life over 40, I mean, my intern when she was here, it was the Renaissance tour for Beyonce at the time she was here. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, isn't that amazing? She's like almost 40. She might have been 40 by that time. or right around. And I'm like, what do you think happens when you turn 40? I was like, because at the time, I was like, girl, I'm in my late 30s. Like, what do you think suddenly changes? Like, you're just suddenly unaware of the rest of the world around you, or just because
you can't move, like you're decrepit.
I don't know. I'm over here calisthenics and movement and yoga and like all the
Calisthenics, that did not bring out the youth in you.
No, but honestly, like getting a kettlebell or a lightweight and just like using your body for motion is like, girl, this was a double XL when I bought it.
I know. I'm not.
I feel so much better.
Saying that there's any problem with what you're doing or that it's not a great idea. I'm saying that was a very middle-aged statement.
I mean, yeah, what am I supposed to be doing? Like hard rocking Pilates instead? Like
running, ultra marathons? Like, no.
It's also one of those things that you realize that the value of calisthenics is very low when you have a young body that will push through.
You don't need flexibility. Yeah.
You don't need to stretch. Like if you don't stretch and you do a bad workout and you have a 25-year-old body, you're fine. That you might tighten up, you might get a little cramp, your body will work through it. You're still gonna be solid. For me, we're in the calisthenics is the toner before the workout. Like it's before you put on the lotion and the vitamin C serum and all of that. Like the calisthenics is before my workout to make sure that I'm like moved and loose and like warmed up, and I prepped my body for a workout in the way that like toner preps my skin to be moisturized.
Yeah.
Like,
and a little protein shake.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A little coffee pre-workout. Like, let's go. Okay, so this went all the way around to, can we take less inspiration from Pinterest, and would you do a whole project? Like, I think I could do a concept stage without Pinterest if I really prepped for some more like book-based researching. Maybe honestly, like I was at my library recently and they have a lot of architecture books that might be worth like, and I think that would be, until I have a library, but I'm going to say this too. I'm not going to mention any designer names. There's a lot of designer books out there that I can't pull inspiration from.
Because they're new.
It's all very new, and I'm looking for a lot of like architectural references, and like a lot of like, all the houses I'm working on are older. Like I want to either add more detail back into the ones that had it taken out, or put things back that feel like they would have been there if they got, they need an update, or the trim on the windows all has to be redone on a house. And I feel like that's where I'm looking for stuff. And I don't see that in a lot of current designer books. I'm not finding that until there's like probably like that designer work that I mentioned earlier who doesn't look at anything. Their work in their photographs would be something I'd pull from. So it's like,
and they're working very, very closely with high profile architects, and there's like a lot going on.
And Pinterest is pulling from everything. So the filtering that you need to do in there is really hard. I will also say there were designers complaining in threads about how, like, literally, if your algorithm has not already been properly fed in Pinterest, if you go to search something, you're more likely to just get an entire page of ads than you are.
Oh my God. How many times do I click on something and it opens up a Wayfair ad?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
What? First of all, why is this on Wayfair? And second, stop.
It's all that. But then my standard feed, like my home feed, because I've curated and pinned and pulled stuff, like, it has turquoise jewelry and folk art frames. And then it's got some house in Milan from 1920 in a black and white photo. Like, it's got a mix that I want, but God forbid I try to search like daybed sofa nook or something like that, where you're like, I know these exist and in the past I would have been able to find them. No, it's all ads now.
I don't use my Pinterest anymore publicly, really. I probably should, but I just use it I make private client folders. But I do think it works best if you find something close and then you rabbit hole it. Like, it starts suggesting things, and then, like, I'll isolate a corner of, like, something specific I'm looking for. Um, but yeah, a lot of times I'm looking at a kitchen detail, but the kitchen happens to be green, and then it's only gonna show me all green kitchens that have nothing to do with what I was actually looking at. So, like, I'm not looking for green kitchen inspiration. I'm looking for, I don't know, a tile treatment or trim detail, or I don't know, something like that. Which, yeah, it is harder to find. Also, I think a lot of designers don't photograph the stuff that we're really wanting to hone in on.
Like, we don't take pictures of a thing, like an inspiration.
Like, you're not taking a picture of a corner of a, I don't know, the miter tile of the Zaliche tile
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and posting that on your website, like, but that's the thing you wanna see so you can show your client or the contractor or whatever.
I know. This is why like when I go to the job site, we are taking all those random little
But no one's
corners in the
posting
niche and
those to
no.
the internet for someone else to find. That would be a good Instagram post too. Social accountability. Like, go
Oh,
through
just
your camera roll of all the random details you did on job
details I
sites.
photograph but never share with anybody or something like that.
Mhm.
Ooh, that would be fun. Honestly, I would love to
Or
see
don't
more of
show up
that.
in a portfolio photos, or designer or clients don't know they should be looking for this.
Okay, when I'm pitching this, it's a weird idea. Stay with me. The concept is forming. It's an amoeba in my head right now. It's like a Reddit thread kind of vibe where it's all anonymous posting, it's all designers sharing those things, or like, oh, I took this picture because I wanted. So it's like I saw this somewhere and this is my inspiration or what I'm trying to use it for, because I love seeing how creatives are like, I saw this and thought of this.
This is what was Tumblr used to be. Like,
Yes.
so there used to be a website when I was a graphic designer. I can't remember what it was called, but it was all web details. I mean, this was like 15 years ago, but so like the little like search bar, like different versions of search bar details of like the graphic, like what they might look like. Like same thing we're talking about, but like just the parts that create a whole. Because those are the things you want to zoom in on, but you can't. Like no one, like in a moody, beautiful Harris Kendra photo, like he's not showing you the miter detail. Like it's the full room.
So true. I want to zoom in on like
Or
the
the
apron trim
drapery.
underneath a window, or
Or what does the hardware actually look like up there and how is it installed?
uh-huh.
Like I want to see that cornice. Like I'm like all into cornices. Like
Yes.
what does the side like what does the return look like?
Or the section detail of
What does
like
look underneath? Like what does the hardware underneath look
a
like when you look
or
up?
like compound crown molding where you're like, but how? Like,
Yeah, what are the pieces? Break it out. Like I want like the blowout
and
expansion.
and I do get like, could you find all that? Yes, yes, yes. Does it exist in random photos? Yes. But is there a person in a project usually attached? No. And I think what I want is that there's a designer who could give a context to like, saw this in Switzerland. I'm going to put this around a bathtub in Virginia. Like, yeah, I want to see those direct influences, kind of like you were saying, is like, I had this sink, here's what it's inspired by. But then, like, do the deep cut. It's Tumblr. We miss Tumblr. The youth yearn for Tumblr.
Because it needs to have categories like to search. It needs searchability, which Reddit wouldn't do that. So, like if it had crown molding details would be the tag and you need to be able to search them all up, or yeah, like skirted whatever. Oh, upholstery detail. I'm constantly like I have a Instagram folder that's like upholstery details when I see them. But like how I want to see like how you did that welt, or oh that's cool, like they did a double welt on that wood chair. Like somebody started.
I can't do
We all have them. Like,
everything.
every designer has some sort of cobbled together Pinterest with Instagram folders, shit on their camera roll from travel. Like, we all have them.
I mean,
And
Tumblr
then,
is
oh my God,
still
and then there
around.
could
Like, are
be
we
the
bringing Tumblr back? Like, it's still there, but are we trying to revive that platform, or is there somewhere better? Like,
because then there could be comments where people could weigh in and talk about how did you do this or what did you ask for? How did you explain it?
yeah, and then there's like the freedom of anonymity. Like, there's a couple thoughts I have of this. This is also a spiderweb thought. I
Well,
don't,
yeah, some of it might be like client privacy stuff.
yeah. And also there's a place where designers need to dream and have this stuff, but not feel like you're tied to what you answer or what you say. Like, I get it. I think in a world of like the internet where people can say anything, you obviously open yourself up to not the right people
Or
being
like, I know
there.
how to
Like,
hack an IKEA cabinet, but I don't want to put that on my Instagram anymore. Like,
yeah.
if somebody wanted to do it and was trying to figure it out, I could probably help, like stuff
Yeah,
like
like,
that.
ah, man, how do we do this? Like, or how does someone else do it? Or point me to it if it
Oh,
exists.
maybe it exists.
That's
Yeah.
like
Point, if it exists, tell us.
like one of the website. Have you ever, this reminds me, because you're always looking for great places to stay. Do you ever look at the website Hotel Weekend?
Mm-mm.
So they've kind of monetized a little bit and you can submit hotels into it. And I think they've grown a lot over the last couple years.
That might ruin it.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but they have like hotels and spaces, and they used to share like small boutique places, and you can find them like, I mean, they're just like all over. Like, I think they were European originally, and the idea is like you have a weekend, you're going to go to a place, here are some small places, and you find stuff that's like artsy and cool, and it's riads, and it's all over the world. So I don't know. I think a lot of them have become less colorful and neutral, and I think that just speaks to, obviously, like there's a zeitgeist that
Their
people.
book, well, that looks like it's their aesthetic. Like, their book is all wabi sabi, like, very monochromatic, neutral palette,
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but
which
there are
is
some surprising
restful.
colorful ones. There's some surprising colorful places, but you do need to like stay with it, like, and go, look through. But like they were the one who was like, they were sharing the Hoxton in Paris. Like, before that was like even really like people were paying attention to the Hoxton. Like, that their website was sharing that before that was a kind of a hotel name to pay attention to. And then now I feel like, oh, they're fully into the conversation. Now they can do other hotels. But you're always looking for pretty places to stay. And I feel like that could be a place that gets you started. Like,
Yeah, when I was talking to one of the designers at the SF Showcase Show House a few weeks ago, one of the featured designers, and they are extremely well traveled and exquisite taste. And it was right before I was going to Charleston, and they're like, "Oh, we were just there a few weeks ago," and she just keeps it in her notes app, and I'm like, "Oh, she just has it by city, like there's cities because she's been to so many and has chic things in each one." So she had a restaurant rack, like she had a little best boutique rack, and it was just like, I think having it just kind of like low key makes it so you actually use it, and that's what I want from this Tumblr, detail Tumblr. I don't need it to be polished. I don't need it to be like beautiful. I don't. It's almost better if it doesn't get monetized. So it's like the
yeah,
Craigslist of it all. Like, it stays like a
raw.
wiki. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not worried about like search engine optimization and all this,
Well,
really.
the
It's
search
just
has to
like,
work, so people have to tag so you can actually find things, but,
yeah,
I
like if
do
it's
think it
window
could
trim or
be
window casement, you need to tell us that. Otherwise, it's just a photo.
and never will be found, but I love this.
If this already exists, or like, let's just say you're following some Tumblr feeds that do this, like, obviously,
There's still Tumblr?
I don't know how active it is. Like, everything just gets sold. I know. It's the sad part of the internet of it all, right? Like,
I'm just surprised that, like, the back to Pinterest. I mean, my daughter she loves Pinterest. Like, she uses it.
okay,
And I think there's definitely still a need for, like, finding information and visual inspiration and
I agree.
adding to the conversation. I don't know if I don't know if it has the right, structure, but
Well, we're open to ideas. We just don't want to have to do it all, but we'll definitely join and participate when we see pictures of stuff. Like you took a bunch of pictures when you were in Charleston, even. Sorry, I feel so like allergy forward today. The weather has been making my eyes puffy.
yeah, it's windy here too. Well, I love this, and I know when I was posting that Zalige bathroom, one of my friends is like, "Oh, how did you finish it?" I'm like, "Oh, he either chamfered some of the edges, which are like bigger, I don't know what degree it is, 45-degree miters, and but some of the edges were mitered, and like the kitchen has like a mitered top edge." She's like, "Oh, my installer says he can't do that." I'm like, "Oh, well, here's a photo." And yeah, like those are the things that you want to give to somebody, or even like for myself. Like, I feel like I can't get my hands on my own things or forget that I took it. Like, if I probably took some cool pictures when I was in New York that I completely forgot about, or they're just in the sea of 90,000 photos.
I'm really, honestly, I might start with this small scale, like be the change, like make a small carousel of stuff. No, no, not make the whole thing, but like, do I make a Tumblr?
See if Tumblr will let you do the tagging and stuff. That's the only thing I don't
Oh,
know.
I might test it. Yeah, yeah. Let me see if we could like, I don't know.
It
I
just needs
just
to be
want
a
to.
data. You know what? It maybe needs to be like a Notion or something. Like someone could build it in Notion probably. It can be just down and dirty, but people can't like fuck with it. So
That's the problem.
there are ways. I
I'm
mean,
going to
we're
stay
in
with this idea.
technology.
There's something to it that you and I are both thinking of that we would want, which is like I need
Someone's got to manage submissions and stuff.
and I don't want the stuff that's on people's Instagram. Like I really don't want
No,
to
I want just
see
mostly my thought is this is all details.
yeah. It's small stuff. It's like a certain type of pleating or a certain type of cushion corner finishing method or that's the stuff that I
Back of a sofa, like, yes, the shape of
yeah.
something.
A weird trim that got added that you never would have been like, "Oh, I never would have added that. That looks so good." Like,
Like cool windows you saw in Europe. Like, there's so many things.
I kind of want to do I see them. I'm learning from this is I was like, "Oh, what if instead of nail heads on a sofa like everywhere is it's done with a trim tape wherever you would have put the nail heads." So I started going down that pathway and finding more and more options
With
that are
nail
using
heads as
trim
well,
tapes.
or
No nail heads, just wherever it's like basically wherever you would have seen nail heads, like at the base of a piece or around the like the back, like around the edge of it, like the perimeter. It's using trim tape
like
when
flat.
yeah, flat, but it was all on sofas where the outline of it was very like geometric. So it's like almost drawing attention to that. Whereas I feel like a lot of times if we're like, oh, it's getting very geometric, we don't want to highlight it. But then it's like, well, let's not, if it's going to look that way anyway, why not just edge it up with a cool trim tape? And a lot of trim tapes start to feel fussy. So now I've been down the rabbit hole of sort of like alt trim tapes where they don't look like, I don't want it to look like Southern Living
I was
trim
just gonna say
tapes.
that. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to, it's like, where do I find the stuff that's a little like edgier or the
Schumacher
colorways in
has
the
really cool ones.
Schumacher has some good ones. What's the other one? Am I thinking of Cole and Sons? I think I am. No. Who am I thinking of that does trims?
Zach and Fox.
They have some. Who am I thinking of? I think it's Travers is the one company that does like, yeah, Zimmer and Rod. Yeah, they do like a ton of fabrics and trim stuff. Travers. Like I started realizing that there were a lot of vendors selling things from them.
It definitely adds up.
Oh my God, it's like a fabric. It's its whole own fabric.
Or more, yeah.
But you know what's funny is so much of that was relatively inexpensive. Like if you went back to 90, what, 7 or something, like so
It's
much
really
of that was.
specific.
I'm just like trying to think of that era, like pre-recession, when people were still spending a lot of money, and the design style did have a lot of drapery with a cornice, with like there was multiple layers. There were very full balloon-like drapery, like you know what era I'm talking in, and trims were abundant if you went to the fabric district here in LA at that time. And now,
Well, I think though it's because they've fallen out of favor. But I do think they're going to come back. Like I said, like I'm seeing so many cornices everywhere popping up in my feed in like a modern, like cool way. I'm working with my Texas client on, she has a house in North Carolina that is like a totally different vibe. So like Texas it's a beach house, so it's pastels and like light pastels. But her mountain house is more of a mountain house, so it's like more rustic beams and like darker woods. So she wants to add more layers and fabrics, and we were talking about how there's so much more of that out there, and it is also like a California aesthetic stripped a lot of that out. So, like, when I talk to her and look at, like, her references and, things that are more available, honestly, like, they have more workrooms and seamstresses who are still doing that level of work. I mean, we have it here, but I just don't think it's as abundant. Or, like, in Charleston, it's becoming, maybe it has been more of a design district and hub, and I think it's also because it can support, and the style is very Charleston, like, it's still kind of beachy, but it's got that, like, old South kind of vibe to it and historic sensibility,
yeah.
but in a playful way, and, there's a lot of design there, and I think it's because there's, like, history and so many generations that have passed down this, like, love and appreciation for design.
And the
And
wealth,
well,
like
okay,
for
sure.
I know we're like
Yes,
we
but
separately had a
rich people don't always rich, right? Like, there's plenty, like, look at all the tech bros here, like, no.
yeah.
So they
No,
don't
it's true.
appreciate that. So but it is old money, yes. Okay, let's just call it that. But
You had to start from somewhere with a group of people who appreciated and had the money and wealth to pay for like that. So then you get the benefit of seeing the layered culture added on slowly over time of like, and then there was this remodel. Then we had to restore this. We had to add this. Like,
But they started with a baseline of, fullness, I guess, just from a design-only perspective, and layering, and pattern, and color. So, there just is more of an appreciation for it, and that's, like, my back to my Texas client, she's showing me these inspos, and it is, like, canopy beds with multiple fabrics and so fun. Like, I love that because it's not an opportunity that we get a lot here. And I don't know if it's maybe just my client base has been more modern, but our homes are more modern for the most part. Like,
yeah, they're very pared back and they were built fast.
I mean, Sacramento, and like it's either Victorian or it jumps. Well, I'm not telling the truth. There is like a 20s to Fab 40s area that has really beautiful
Oh,
homes.
that's
But again,
true.
those are only 100 years old or less. And
Everything else is just regular vintage.
everything else is vintage. Like my house well, yeah, my house is vintage. So like an old house is built in 1960.
Oh
So
my gosh.
that doesn't call for all that. Although I'm trying to
It
make it
could.
happen.
I feel, yeah, there's an absence of that. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of mid-century, yeah, they focused on like the modern piece, but there were still some really beautiful.
You know what? My thought is the architects focused on the modern piece. The people didn't. Like, the people that owned my house were the ones that built it before me, and they had wallpaper on every wall. There was different color carpet in every room. Not to my taste, or like it didn't age
But
well 50 years
they
later,
were
but
trying things, like trying different
a lot of French
ideas. And
provincial, like a lot of that type of 1960s. So it wasn't like sleek, modern everywhere. Like there was a little bit of it, but I'm trying to bring that mix back in. And I don't know, I'm going to do some work on my house this summer.
are you? Your living room? The one you're talking about, your living room still? Or what are we talking about?
Really, no. Um, we're having an issue with Cecily's room. She doesn't have enough closet space. So she has two 36-inch wide closets with 36-inch swing doors, like
Okay.
regular hinge doors.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
in between them is like a built-in that's 24 inches deep of a cabinet and drawers that are like plywood drawers that are like, "Ugh, I can't, we don't use them. I think they're mostly empty because they don't operate very well. So she just has shit everywhere, and she's like such oh, I want to do beads in my hair. Like every week it's a new creative adventure, which I want to support, but I'm like, I can't have bags and bins of shit all over my house. So anyway, I convinced Terry, like, let's just tear all three closets out, give her one big 8-foot closet and built it in. And then while we're doing that, we're going to replace the floors. Like she has carpet in her bedroom and my office that both were her rooms at one point, and they're just slime, paint, nail polish, like dog pee, like they're gross. So we're going to get rid of all the carpet and redo the floors in the back of the house to match the rest of the house.
You're out of the
And
era where she can't do, like, having the floors is better than having the soft carpet. Like,
oh, yeah, she's not. Well, yeah, I don't even care. And we did it cheaply, like we were trying to stretch budget. So while we're doing that, I think I'm like, slippery slope. Oh, well, maybe I'll do the hallway that I hate and we've never touched, because all the baseboards are, well, yeah, we're gonna do the floors anyway. So the baseboards are gonna be pulled up. So I might as well wallpaper,
I mean,
right?
yeah. Yeah. Especially because
Let's just
it's,
finish it, is really.
I think the hallway in that could become such a vibe because you have the doors. Are the doors there that stop at
Yeah.
the like front? Yeah. So then
They're
it's
like
like,
louver doors, but then I'm like, "Oh, can I upgrade all the louver doors?
could the louver ones be made to look cool again?
Like stained glass?"
Oh,
No,
will
but
you get any? You might not get, well, you would get some light from the living room side to filter into the hallway if
yeah,
you
those
had that.
transom windows from the other side of the door.
Okay,
And
wait.
the
So
ceiling drops to
color.
like 7 feet. Like it's like a cave. So I think I'm just gonna make it like a cave, an intentional cave.
Okay, stay with me. I know we're like, okay.
Over
Have
time.
you seen the remember we saw the fabric around the doorways at like when we were in San Diego?
Yeah.
And they did like more like a curtain pulled back to
Mm.
frame a hallway
Mm-hmm.
door or like a portal door, like it would go towards the restrooms or something. You
Yeah.
could do that too
With
instead of
like
louvers. Like you don't really
it,
close the door that often,
because they
but
don't work. But if it was like actually a soundproof door, would
you
I?
would close it. So
Maybe.
stained glass wouldn't. I'm just hearing stained glass up on the
No.
transom windows, and then either a
No,
solid
I
core
think
door or
my
something like,
side lights of my front door I want to turn into stained glass. And
oh,
then I saw
huge.
this inspo of a big porthole window into a broadwood door as my front door. Just like a
Uh,
big circle.
Wait, so are you doing your door too?
Just keep no, I don't think so,
No,
but it's
no.
been on my list. I need to. It's terrible. It's
Okay, for sure, wallpaper in the hallway. The
yeah,
door in the hallway part, you should figure out if you could get like a solid core door
just
that you
fix
would
it.
like, but maybe make it like a different door than everywhere else in the house on purpose.
Yeah.
Because all the rest are flat panel, right?
Well, the swing doors are,
Except
but
the
I have those
louvers.
louver doors kind of in a lot of spaces that It's kind of a problem. She's kind of a problem.
But they were smart to allow clothing to air and to allow airflow while not like getting a house stuffy, but they're like that fake, we have privacy visual, which doesn't work. Like when you want a door, most people want a real door. They don't want like a shutter style or something or a louvered style. Like that's...
we should have done it 10 years ago when the baby was sleeping back there. It would have been great, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Or the dog, they don't like close properly, so the dog can just
push.
And I hear it, like I hear that sound. God damn it.
I mean, in fairness, Desmond is a big dog. Like my Yorkie would have struggled he'd be standing there yapping at the other side. Like,
oh yeah. But if it had a catch, he would just say, well, I guess I'm not going back there.
Yeah, never mind. Like leave them alone.
He's not gonna bark.
Oh, I'm excited to see how your scope of work develops.
I think I'm just going to stop with the wallpaper and paint the hallway because I think we're going to paint her room. So it's just like, let's get the trades that are there. Like, let's just have them
like paint. Oh, but you're going to do something on the ceiling too, right?
Well, I think I need to do swap out.
See? Okay, hold on. We need to come back to this for sure.
Yeah, I will. Because it has those vintage, like 10-inch brass recessed lights that I think people probably collect now, but it just makes it look old and they don't work very well.
I agree.
Anyway.
Ooh, okay, I'm excited.
Send me your hallway inspirations into our new Tumblr.
Yeah, invite us to your design detail photo Tumblr accounts. Like we need in.
Damn, how can we do? Somebody has an idea. I know someone's like writing us an email right now.
I already want to know. Yeah. Like slide into our DMs on Instagram or if you're in our loyal hotties on Patreon, you know where to find us, patreon.com/HYDC. So
yes, please.
Okay, well, until next time.
Stay hot, designers.
Thanks for listening to the Hot Young Designers Club podcast.
For more on what we talked about today, check out the show notes.
Your support helps us grow, so share with your design besties.
And subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Our conversations continue on Instagram.
And be sure to download our monthly resources on our website and our Patreon.